Gamers and viewers, welcome. Newcomers and subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, you'll probably see this video multiple times in the front of the channel. It's a video I wanted to make for the front channel. It's an introductory video since it's needed to be addressed. If you're new and you don't know how things work or had questions and you want it answered, this video pretty much explains my stance on video games, why I do my reviews, just a little bit of introduction. As you know, I've been gaming since I was 4 years old, been collecting video games since then. This is about 25 years of gaming and collecting video games. I started this channel up as a, channel for friends. We did a lot of practice, played Street Fighter 4, tournaments, esporting, etc., you name it. It was just a fun channel. At the same time, I was still collecting and playing other video games. Didn't really do videos on them. In fact, I played a lot. I played almost every single one of them except for most of the indies out there that I'm still getting my hands on. And with the collection I have, I decided, maybe I should do some reviews, PSAs, go back to older games to show people what they're getting. Most of all, the thing I like about games is having fun doing it. So if it wasn't fun, I wouldn't have done it. I left for a bit, for a year and a half, took esporting pretty seriously. And then at the same time, I was still gaming. So if you name it, I've probably played it during the last few years. The stance I have for video games is quite simple. Aside from being a hater in the past or being a huge fanboy of Blizzard Entertainment and thinking, certain video games are perfect, I decided to take a neutral stance on video games. Now, as for neutral stance, what does it mean basically? If the game is good or bad, that doesn't matter unless the game doesn't work. Basically, the game is all about fun. There's going to be good points and flaws about it, and my goal is to basically point them out, good or bad. Basically, my goal is to overcome the flaws with the pros. The more pros a game has, the more fun it's going to be. The more cons it has pretty much points out if it's not going to be fun or not. I don't do score ratings. I don't like the score rating system because it gives people the opinion that, if I gave something a 5 out of 10, they'll be like, oh, this game sucks, unless it's a 8 or 9. So I do none of that crap. The other thing I'll point out is if a DLC is required for a certain game or you don't get certain things with the game. I'll point those out. Maybe PR fishy businesses, but my goal is not to, concentrate on that aspect. It's to basically concentrate on the game itself, the art. And finally, if I do make an opinion about the game, I'll let you know. It's not something I'll cram down your throat or want you to advocate on or point out the game is or use against the game. It's basically an opinion, but rather it's for letting you see my side of why I didn't enjoy it or I had a blast with it, because the important thing to me is the fun aspect of the video games. The reviews are going to be based on console games, PC games, AAA titles, indie games. I might not cover everything the day it releases, but that's going to keep content for my channel because I'll go back and later cover it. I'd rather play the game all the way through or as much as possible before I do a review, since I don't want to do it, 30-minute play or maybe a 50-minute play, but I'd rather play as much as possible, see the good stuff, see the flaws, and then point them out. Now, the reviews I do is pretty standard with a few categories I like to reinforce on. I like to do reviews on the pretty much controls, how it feels, how customizable it is, options. I like to do the graphics. Is it up to today's standards? How's the graphics? How's the textures? Sometimes this is not as important to me, especially during certain indie games. But if it's a AAA title, of course it's going to be pretty important. The AI, of course, who wants stupid enemies? The story, which is pretty important for a lot of people. It reinforces one of my favorite categories, which is the immersion, because the story has to be good if you really want to play it all the way. The gameplay is pretty important because you definitely want to have a game that has great gameplay if the story is not the best. The immersion is very important for me. For many games, this includes, first-person shooters, how a game feels, how the story is. It leads you to think that you're in the game. When you feel that immersion, it makes it more fun. So to me, immersion is a very important category. The replayability is pretty important at certain times. It's the reason why I should play it again if it's a great game. How many times I can play it before I get really bored, or if it's a linear game that you read it like a book, and once you finish the book you might not even go back to it. Also remember, I do cover the sound and the music of the game. Music is important for me, especially for the immersion. Finally, the last thing I cover is the verdict of the game, which includes my opinion, how fun it is, and if it's worth the asking price. And that's pretty much how I do my video, guys. You know, if you don't find me making videos on YouTube, like I said again, I'll be streaming and playing my own thing, or sometimes I like my quiet time, I'll be doing, you know, beta tests or maybe NDA games or embargoed game. I can't really talk about them, or I'm working on, I don't know, some BS. So there you go, guys. If you enjoy the channel, subscribe, stop by often, thumbs up. I don't personally advertise the channel out there, so you can tell your friends about it, because I'd rather the people type in words and try to find it themselves, which is the fun part about it, for me, of course. And like I said before, if you subscribe, you might win something when I do giveaways. If you leave a comment, and you leave a pretty funny comment, be it an opinion, a hater's comment, or a good comment, it doesn't matter to me. That's like pure entertainment on my side. So you might win something. You never know, so don't be afraid to do it. Well, that's pretty much about the explanation of my channel and my introductory. I hope you guys liked it. With that being said, I hope you guys find your right games for you, and game on.